Hello and welcome to this video. Now, let's cover a few things, but pretty much GGG is really struggling to get people to actually play the game. Now, don't quote any Steam DB or whatever that thing is that tracks players, because I've seen huge amount of players literally sit for hours in either their hideout or in one of the towns so they can tick up the played hours of Path of Exile, Path of Exile 2, and then they can go, oh, I've played for 5,000 hours, or I know what I'm talking about. So, just don't. Now, one of the reasons why, in my opinion, GGG is pretty much admitting that they don't have a game yet. They just got sort of a demo, if you want to put it that way, is one, the gauntlet, pretty much, for Path of Exile 2. Pretty much streamers and all that are running out of content, so Zizran puts on a gauntlet. And then he makes content on people struggling, and then content creators create content on the actual gauntlet. And then people obviously watch that to see the struggle, success, whatever. But we have another boss race. Now, why is the boss race a symbol of sort of, we got nothing for you to play, so here's something to take your mind off it? Because in the past, pretty much whenever there's a boss race, it's when people are wanting either them to come out with the next league. In case of 3.25, they had a few things that they were trying to keep people busy, and then Pox created a public league that I think 20,000 people joined, and then they had to give him special powers to be able to boost it to 30, 40k or something, because people just wanted something to play. And then GGG actually stole that and created the Freesia League. So if you liked Freesia League, thank Pox for making GGG actually do that, because they only did that after Pox did his thing. So if anything, just go check out his stuff and everything, just as a way to say thanks. Give him more views, more follows, more whatever, if you're not part of his community. Now, the boss race, I'm guessing at least one of the classes, if he plays it, Ben's gonna win either probably Mercenary, Ranger, or Warrior. That seems to be the classes he goes with. The reward is 25% increased rarity of items found. That's the reward for winning. So, yeah. And then each class winner wins a displates. One of these. I don't know whether you get to choose or not, but you get one of them. And full selection, so there's probably more, and a divination card to the fastest player of all three, out of all three races. So if you're the faster, so if Ben does it, maybe one or two others, they get another divination card. They actually had to change his divination card in PoE 1, because the first league, it should have been implemented in, I think, after he did it, or the second league. They actually took the card out and had to redesign his card and re-add it to the game, because they actually took the card out. And then there was something in here, the alchemy orbs. I really don't understand this. Alchemy orbs can be used on magic items to make them rare. Was that not the point of a regal? Like, one, you're pretty much admitting that not enough rare items drop because of the way you got loot drops. Nerfing it so Magic Find isn't overpowered, because you'll see a huge difference if you run Magic Find, probably on your second character, but your first character, if you can get as many items with Magic Find on you, you will see a huge difference in the amount of items dropped. Not necessarily they're going to be awesome, but the amount of rares and the amount of actual usable items that drop will be hugely significant. And they're pretty much just admitting that Magic Find, nerfing it so Magic Find isn't too strong, has caused a loot drop problem. And then they don't drop enough rares. So they're changing how alchemy orbs work to fix that. It's like, just fix the core issue, not change a staple of Path of Exile 1 currency. Like, unless you're going to do this in Path of Exile 1, it's just going to confuse people. Like new players, not obviously people that have done it for ages. But yeah, all these maps got shrunk. So if you didn't like any of these maps, you might like them now. But yeah, and for some reason it's all on Path of Exile 1 website, although you go from Path of Exile 2 website to go into it. That's just it annoys me personally. Now, Abyssal fixed layout, and then 2.5 minute period time lapse, because I found a minute was obviously not long enough previous to have the people just running face first into everything. So if you like boss racing, they have 3 upcoming events. I assume by end of October is when we're going to get a new league for Path of Exile 1 due to this. So we still got a month before the next Path of Exile 1. And then that will be 4 months until, well, 2, maybe 2.5, probably, depending on what they're doing, before the next Path of Exile 2. So, what's that? It's October. It'll be late October. So, New Year's, just before New Year's, because, no, they take that whole break off. If they're going to launch another Path of Exile 2 before, say, February, March, they got to launch at the start of December, because they take off December, early January, and which was crazy when Path of Exile 2 launched. It was terrible. It needed fixes. It needed changes right then, right there. They did a little bit, and they went, oh, we're going on holiday. We deserve it. And then then releasing posts thanking the staff members for all their hard work in the middle of like servers going down. That was weird. I don't know who was in charge of all that, but that was weird. When Path of Exile 2 launched, in the middle of servers being unplayable, the game being unplayable, things being broken, the first response wasn't even to the public, it was to their people saying, you've done a hard work, enjoy your Christmas break. That was weird. But I'll keep this video short, because I know a lot of people have things to do. But yeah, there's a couple of other things. Nothing that big a deal. Well, this is. instead of having your entire map covered in the ground degen, it's apparently going to be 66% less. So that's good too. But yeah, if you like watching boss racing or doing boss racing, then this is the dates and everything that you want to check out. But I'll catch you next time in the next video, and goodbye.